Hello and welcome to this video. At Boffix, one of the things we really do believe in is that small businesses should be able to thrive, not just survive. With that in mind, I want to do a quick video on how a business plan can make sure your business gets to the right start. Hello, my name is Aaron Patrick. I'm a chartered accountant, certified UK trainer, and also that QuickBooks Chap. As my role of head of accounts at Boffix, I get asked quite a few times what it means to do a business plan. Normally a business plan comes about when you are being requested to do one. So it could be that you're looking to borrow some money from a bank, or it might be because you're looking to get some form of grant, or something along those lines where someone is going to lend you money or give you some money towards your business. At this point, one of the questions they're most likely going to ask, along with other questions, is, can we see your business plan? And it's normally at that point that people start considering the need and start thinking about what a business plan is, how to put one together, and they normally come to us for advice on that point. One thing I'd say about a business plan is it shouldn't be something that you just go out and complete just because you've been asked for it. Depending on what publication or stats and figures that you look at, some of the stats relating to small businesses and their success rate could be really daunting. There's one stat that I've seen where it says 90% of small businesses don't survive that first year. Now here at Boffix, we certainly don't see it being that high and that drastic, but it is something to consider. There is a lot of failures out there when it comes to small business. So how do you make sure that your business is going to go in the right direction and give it the best possible opportunity to make sure it doesn't just survive, but it thrives? This is where a business plan can be so useful. The whole idea and concept of a business plan is that you've got some brilliant ideas. That's why you're in business. You're an entrepreneur, you're looking at taking your fantastic idea and you're looking to make money out of that and make it into a viable business. Problem is, all those ideas are in your head. In the simplistic terms, the idea of a business plan is to get those ideas out of your head and put them onto paper. And the reason you're putting it onto paper is because you then need to tell other people, tell other stakeholders we would call, what your business ideas are and how viable they are and what your plan is for the future, and not just for getting yourself through these next couple of months, but actually long term and how that's going to work out for you. And being forced to put that on paper makes you think about stuff you might not have thought about before. Some maybe obstacles you'll have in the way and how you're going to overcome them. Maybe you're going to consider how you're going to be able to grow your business further and bigger and faster than you've done before. So it's a really important exercise to get a business plan. And one thing I'd urge you to do is not just wait until it's needed or required, but have one ready and waiting from day one. Give yourself some goals, give yourself some motivation and look at it from that point of view. With that in mind, we're now going to look at 8 ways in which making a business plan can be beneficial and give you some tips on how to make sure that business plan is right for you. Number 1 is to define your vision. You're wanting to create this new business. You've obviously got some sort of idea of how that business wants to be. Again, at this moment in time, it's all in your head. So what you need to do is put it on pen and paper as to what it is, what it relates to. What is your business going to be? What do you see it in 5-10 years time? Define what that vision is and make sure that you can explain that to people in a clear and concise way. If you can explain it in a clear and concise way, then you're going to be able to make sure people can buy into it really easily. And that means when you start looking at employing people, you start growing your business, and you start taking on more stakeholders, at that point, you're going to have that clear and concise way of being able to explain what the vision is for your business. So you're making sure you're getting the right people to come on board. Once you have defined that, then start thinking about setting your objectives and goals. At this point, you should be able to go in and be able to explain what it is your business is looking like it's going to want to achieve. You can say that in a year's time you want X, in 2 years' time you want Y, and you can start building them through. Now they could be financial goals, or they could be KPIs, or maybe it's a growth in some sort of area. Maybe you're really interested in terms of social media, for example, and you want to make sure that you've got X amount of followers by a particular date. Whatever goals and objectives you set yourself, one of the key things then is to be able to manage, being able to make sure that you are achieving those goals. Set goalposts, set achievable metrics that you can go against and you can easily run to see if you're in the right direction or not. And then if you're not in the right direction, or if you've completely surpassed that particular goalpost, then think about re-looking and reanalyzing your goals. Start trying to make them achievable or more push the boundaries even further. Either way, you want to have this to be dynamic. You want to keep coming back and back and back and back and back to those goals, because that's going to drive you forward. That's going to make sure that you are pushing your business and yourself in the right direction. Consider your USP. USP is so important, your unique selling point. It's going to be what defines why someone is going to buy from you and not from your competitor. So think about what your USP is and then drive that USP into something that you can then start telling the world about. Here at Boffix, we want to make sure people know that they can get information at their fingertips as a small business. We want clients to know that they don't have to worry about any of the red tape or any of the statutory requirements. They can just concentrate on being whatever they're good at being. That's our USP, and we tell people that and we talk about that as much as we can. That's what you need to do. You need to be shouting from the rooftops that this is your USP, and this is why you should be who they should be considering when people are looking to make the next purchasing decision or the next service, or looking to take on some more services. USP will define what your business is and what your product is and your services you're trying to sell. So really think about it. Try and get something in your head that you know is your USP, and then start making sure you're marketing around that particular item. When it comes to marketing, first and foremost, you need to know who you're marketing to. So start to understand and get to know your market. Is it a set section of the community? Is it a particular element? You need to figure out what market you're aiming for and how your business will then be able to start talking to that audience. Trust me, this part of the exercise won't happen overnight. And you'll probably make mistakes. You'll probably start marketing what you think is to one set of customers and then realize actually you should be marketing to another. And that's absolutely fine. But you need to have them clear-cut ideas in terms of who you are marketing to, and then from there you can start thinking about how you're going to market to those particular groups. Think about it. If you're going to be marketing to a set of audience that is elderly and they're not quite going to be very tech savvy, then putting a Twitter campaign or an Instagram campaign together probably isn't going to be the best solution for your business. Therefore, if you know your market, then it's easier to construct a marketing campaign around what that market's going to be. There's plenty of resources out there online, but you first need to define what your market is. Once you know that market, then you can start understanding your customer, and you need to start to know your customer. The best information you'll ever get is from the customers who are already taking your products or services already. So start with that group, start with understanding what's going right for them, what's going wrong for them, and start getting that information that's going to be vital to your business. If you don't have any customers yet, then start trying to find out what customers are looking from your rivals. How are they finding the situation? And start thinking about what's going on with your rivals, what their customers like about the services and products they're getting, and what their customers don't like at the moment. At the end of the day, it's all about understanding and getting into that mindset. Why did a customer buy from you in the first place? Once you know why, then there's your secret sauce, and that's what you can start double downing on in terms of what to get out there and how to get that message out there to the rest of the world. The next part of the marketing plan is research the demand for the business. Figure out how much or how critical people need that particular service or product that you're offering. Once you know that, once you understand that, then everything else can start falling into place. Is your product or service something that people need to see on a regular basis before they commit to buy? Or is it something that they can make an instant, easy purchase decision on? Depending on which one of those categories is going to go in, depends on how you're going to market that particular product or service. Therefore, you need to understand the demand. How much in demand is your product and service? What competitors are already in the place? And how are you going to make sure that you stand out from the crowd? It's all about research and figuring out who and why people have already bought from that particular competitor or from that particular subsection before. Once you start understanding that, you're going to see bits that you could start emulating and start replicating in your business to make sure that you start collecting some of that future income coming forward. And don't be afraid to ask. Go into communities, start asking different areas, looking on Facebook groups, whatever it's going to be. Start asking those questions. Why are people happy with one of your competitors? What is it that makes them want to go for that? Then use that information to start thinking about how you can make sure that at least your product or service matches what they're offering at very least. And then at that point, you're on a level playing field. When we talk about goals, make sure you're setting marketing goals as well as financial and social and every other goal that's with it. Marketing goals keeps you absolutely pinpoint focused. It's about making sure that you can see how many leads are coming through the door, and you want to be able to market and set yourself some goals of how many you want to be coming through, what your current conversion rate is, what your current conversion rate should be, and how many of your new customers that you've got on board, how many of them are you sticking with them and are actually converting all the way through and getting the upsells and everything that goes with it. These are key metrics that are quite straightforward to be able to record. All you need is a nice CRM solution to be able to do that for you. Once you've got that data in and once you've got yourself all set up, and then at that point you'll be able to start thinking about it going forward. So the goals are going to influence your market strategy. So you can explain how that's going to go ahead. What's your plan? How are you going to go and complete those goals that you've set yourself? And then the final bit is to take action. And this is what you're going to explain at the very end of this business plan. And at the very end, you're going to take action. This is where you explain at the very end of your business plan how it all's going to fit together. What's your plan to actually make sure that the stuff you've just written out above is A, achievable, and B, is going to be looked at on a regular basis. If you give confidence to the person reading the plan that you're not just putting this stuff down just for the sake of it, but you believe in it and you believe it's achievable, and also you're going to be setting yourself targets and everything else that's going to be able to be looked at and reviewed, then the person who reads that business plan is going to have more ownership and they're going to have more of a buy-in into what you're saying. This gives you an advantage. This gives you that final bit at the very end of that business plan to basically explain to them that you're a safe pair of hands and that you've considered the stuff above, you've understood what the risks and rewards are going to be, and you're happy with what's going forward. Notice how those 8 plans there are very much in terms of looking at the overall picture, looking at what's going on, looking at how your business is going to grow and what's going to happen and how you're going to achieve those growths. And again, it's about making sure that you've put that information in your head down somewhere so that you're explaining it to whoever it is you need to explain it to. But I haven't talked about financial issues or looking at cash flow forecasts and all of that other stuff. Why? Because that sort of stuff then just becomes part and parcel of what it is you've already planned out to achieve. At the end of the day, every time you do a cash flow forecast, it's going to be a prediction. There's no right or wrong. No one's going to be able to come up to you and say, well, actually, you should have used Y instead of X at that particular point, because no one knows and can predict what's going to happen. So when it comes to the financial side of things, just make your life really easy. And how you do that is just get some software behind you that's going to make your life super simple. QuickBooks, for example, makes it really easy. You put a load of information into QuickBooks as how it's going so far, and it even starts to predict your next 90 days of cash flow. Once your 90 days of cash flow has been predicted, then all you need to do is use that as a starting point to go, okay, here's my normal churn, and if I start adding this or taking away that or going from this, you can start showing different ideas and different plans and different permutations. But get the basics right first. Just use something like QuickBooks. That investment in time, that investment in getting that right, it's going to save you so much time, and it's going to give you confidence that the figures that you're putting out there are correct and easy to understand. And that's half the battle. You need to make sure you're confident in whatever report that you run in any software in any point, that it's coming out with information that's right. And once you've got that confidence, it goes really, really straightforward. Finally, if all that seems daunting to you, then talk to us at Boffix, because that's what we're here for. We want businesses to thrive, not just to survive. So therefore, we're ready and waiting to be able to help you and assist you as you need it, especially in the financial section. Why spend time worrying about that sort of stuff? Just pass it over to us and we can make sure that your business is looked after. We give you the tools so that you then can see what your cash flow forecast is going to be, and therefore you can then start talking with us about what ifs and what ifs and everything else. Give yourself that opportunity just to make sure that you're in a safe pair of hands. However you choose to put your business plan together, good luck with it. End of the day, it's about you making sure that your business, whatever fantastic idea you've got, comes into fruition. So good luck with putting that information down, Be passionate about it, look at the information we've just talked about, and make sure then you've got something to build upon as you go forward. Review it, make sure that you don't just put it into existence and then never look at it again. Come back to it, expand on it, keep learning from it. You're going to make mistakes from day one. So learn from those mistakes and update your business plan accordingly. If you need any more advice like this, don't forget to make sure you subscribe to this channel. This is what this channel is all about, giving you, that business owner, the opportunity to grow your business, make sure that you're getting the right advice, and making sure that your business is going in the right direction. As always, it's been a pleasure to do this video for you. My name's Aaron Patrick, pleasure to do this video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.
I told him I can be a fighter if you want. I'll be there to catch you if you fall. I can make it brighter when it's dark, I told him I would do it all for you, and I know you do it for me too. I can be a fighter if you want, I can be a fighter. I can be a fighter if you want. I can be a fighter if you want. All the way that I feel, yeah, I know that it's real, 'cause I can get him out of my head. I don't care what we do, everything's feeling new. Even if we stay in bed, my heart is saying yeah, 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 yeah. You know I want him, nah, 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 nah. My heart is saying yeah, 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 yeah.